You know, I always acknowledge the Lord Jesus Christ because he said if you don't acknowledge him, he's not going to acknowledge you in heaven. And when I come knocking, I really want to let me in. You know, I told last night the story of the man that had two little twin boys. One little boy was always positive in life. No matter whatever happened to that kid, he was positive about it. But this other little kid was always negative. No matter whatever happened to that kid, he was negative about everything. Father don't know what's going on with them because they're twins, but they're so opposite. So around Christmas time, he tried this little experiment. He put this negative little kid in his room with nothing but brand new toys. But he put this positive little kid in his room with nothing but horse manure. And after an hour or so, he looked in on this negative little kid and he's complaining that I don't like this, I like this. I don't like that, I like this. I don't want that color, I want that color. Father knew that this kid is never going to amount to anything because nothing ever makes him happy. But he looks in on this positive little kid, and this positive little kid has a shovel. He's shoving his horse manure over his shoulder. He's laughing and singing and having a good time. First thing the father thinking, this kid's crazy. But he asked him, said, son, what's going on? What's going on? The little boy looked at his dad and said, you know, Dad, as much horse manure as there's in this room, there must be a pony at the bottom of it. And the reason I tell you that is we all have that pony, but we see so much crap around us, we don't think we can see it. But I'm tell you, every day you got to grab a big shovel and just shovel. And let me tell you, you can see your way out. Because I'm a kid from Wrightsville, Georgia. And I don't know if you ever heard from Wrightsville, Georgia, but Wrightsville, Georgia is in between Macon and Augusta. So I'm in between Little Richard and James Brown. And I tell people all the time, I say, if you got 1 year to live, you move to Wrightsville. Because that 1 year is like forever. Nothing ever changes. Everything stays the same and stuff. And it was so funny because, you know, he was talking about I used to have a speech impediment. And my mother always was this Christian woman. I tell people all the time, my mother was this Christian woman. She grew up in the church. But my father's family was this family that would shoot you. So I was sort of like on both sides of the fence. They on mean, I'm not mean, and all this stuff. But my father became a born-again Christian in 1992, and now he's a wimp. He cries at everything and stuff. And I've been saying, Dad, you can't cry because Christian looking at you. You got to be tough. Let me tell you, they're my pride and joy. And it's funny because you don't know your parents are smart until you're 21. When I was 16, I thought, they don't know what they're talking about. But now I think they're the smartest people in the world. They worked all the day of their lives and never complained about it. And I think they set that same foundation for myself. Let me tell you, he talked about Christian. You know, anyone can ask me the best thing that ever happened in my life. And everyone looked for me to say something about football. And I said, no, my little boy Christian. I absolutely love this little guy. He is so funny because he don't know anything his dad ever done. He don't really care about it. He care about his gymnastics and all this. And one day he was playing this game called Club Penguin. I don't know if you've seen this game, and I love Club Penguin. I was playing it with him, and you get this little penguin, and you dress him up, and you walk around, and you play, and I'm on the computer playing this game, and he's having a good time, and one day he came home from school, and he said, Dad, I don't want to play Club Penguin no more. I want to play Toontown. Like, no, Christian. I said, let's play Club Penguin. I love my penguin. I dress him up and stuff. Why don't we play Club Penguin? He said, no, Dad, I don't want to play no more. They're going to play Toontown. And all of a sudden, I get mad at him. I'm like, okay, you play Toontown. I want to play Club Penguin and stuff. So he started playing Toontown. Well, he was playing Toontown, and he couldn't really read at the time. And I didn't watch him for about 6 months. And then all of a sudden, I started watching him play this game, and it was a fascinating game. It's from Disney. Disney put this game out. But you got to be able to read, and you got to be able to add real quickly. Well, he was a little boy at the time, and he couldn't do it. Well, it was so funny because what it was, he was this little bunny named Super Wilbur. He's this little Disney bunny named Super Wilbur, and he was trying to get in this building with these other little Disney characters, and they wouldn't let him in. They kept telling him to go away because you're not old enough, go away and stuff. And he just takes his little bunny, he runs right down the street, and it's at night, and I'm like getting mad, like who in the world is being mean to my little boy? So all of a sudden I put him to bed, and I Googled that game real quick, and I saw that what it was is this game that you got to be able to read, you got to be able to add real quick, and I'm like, okay. So about 3 days, true story, I didn't sleep. I played this little game and stuff and built this little bunny up. Now he's got the baddest little bunny throughout the world. He's got the baddest little bunny throughout this game. You can Google it, And they write about Super Wilbur. That's because I built Super Wilbur up. And the reason I tell you that story is because I always have found my pony. Because my mother told me that we're blessed. That the Jesus Christ has blessed us so much that we have the DNA of Jesus Christ so you can do whatever you want to do. Sometimes we don't see it. And I didn't see it as a little boy. Because, one day my mother wanted me to go to church. And I hid my one pair of Sunday shoes because I didn't want to go. And my nickname is Bo. So she turned to me and she said, Bo, you ready to go? You ready to go? And, have you ever met Bo Jackson? Bo Jackson wanted to be me, but I'm better looking and better shape and all that stuff. But what was so funny, she turned to me and she said, Bo, you ready to go? You ready to go? And I said, Mom, I don't have my shoes. And she said, Jesus don't care how you look. And it freaked me out because I went to church with her and found out about Jesus Christ, and that's when I became born again. But what was funny is because people say, Herschel, you talk about it all the time. And I said, I talk about it because that's how I live.